Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Lee and I have the pleasure of speaking to you today from London, England. I'm an arbitrator, a consultant at Seymours specializing in international dispute resolution, a visiting lecturer at the University of Law, and the founder of the Careers in Arbitration initiative, which you may have come across on LinkedIn or Twitter. I'm also a member of the Board of Arbitral Women and the Global Advisory Board of ICDR-YNI. Thank you to the Bali International Arbitration and Mediation Center, the BIAMC, and its academic director, Dr. Harold Sippel, for inviting me to share with you today my top tip for career success in the field of alternative dispute resolution. I'm delighted to be part of this exciting initiative, which will equip those seeking roles with the tools that they need to succeed. I'm often asked what I would tell myself if I had a time machine and I could travel back in time to the beginning of my career and give myself some sensible advice. How could I make things just a little bit easier for myself? Well, my top tip for myself, and for all of you, is very simple. Be brave and say yes. What do I mean by that? Well, let's start with the basics. How do you find opportunities to be brave and say yes? Well, a good place to start is LinkedIn. But I don't have a LinkedIn account, you say. Well, that's your first opportunity to start saying yes. Go to www.linkedin.com and sign up for an account. You can pause this video. Do it now. I'll wait. Have you done it? Great. You just started being brave. Social media, and LinkedIn in particular, which is of course a professional networking platform, provides you with endless doorways leading into the big wide world of international dispute resolution. All you have to do is step through. So how do you find all these opportunities? Where are they hiding? Well, a good place to start is by following firms and organizations involved in ADR, like the BIAMC. These entities will share details of events taking place all over the world, including online events, which are particularly relevant during the present climate. You can sign up to attend events online from the safety of your home or office. And in the future, when the world has returned to normal once more, you can go on an international arbitration event tour if that's what you have the time and inclination to do. After all, there are events taking place in the ADR field all over the world throughout the year. Each event is an opportunity to add to your knowledge of the field, to make new connections, and to gain fresh inspiration for your own activities, whether they involve writing, organizing events, or developing new and exciting initiatives to help you revolutionize the field over the next decade. Now remember, networking is what you make of it. You do not have to race around talking to hundreds of people and providing endless elevator pitches. Make networking work for you. If you're the kind of person who likes networking in person with an individual or a couple of individuals, then make sure that you derive as much value as possible from those interactions. If you're the kind of person who likes attending events only if you're speaking so you have something to talk about, then hey, try and get speaking engagements, or at least get involved in the organization of events. Networking is what you make of it. It's in your hands. So, what other opportunities are there for you to say yes to out there? Well, there are myriad young practitioner organizations on LinkedIn with their own websites, Twitter handles, Instagram pages, and much more. Each will have its own leadership structure and offer you opportunities to engage with the wider ADR community, whether that's by joining a committee, contributing a post to a blog, attending an event, volunteering to speak at or to host an event, applying to participate in a mentoring scheme, or simply meeting and engaging with fellow members from around the world. I'm going to make things a little bit easier for you in this regard too. Later this year, I'll be launching the Careers in Arbitration Guide to Young Practitioner Organizations, which will capture lots of this information on one website. For now though, all you need to do is Google or use LinkedIn. Search for organizations with which you identify. Look for common areas of interest if you're focusing on international arbitration. Search for practitioner organizations in that field. If you're particularly interested in mediation, do likewise. Adjudication, whatever form of ADR you're interested in, you will be able to find an organization where you can make your new professional home. To give you a few high-profile examples, we've got Young ICA, Young ITA, the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Young Members Group. If you're a female aspiring arbitration practitioner or ADR practitioner, you might be interested in Young Arbitral Women Practitioners. There are a great many very young arbitration practitioner organizations that are popping up all over the world. There's a huge network of them. You can sign up to become a member of ICDR Y&I. You can join YSIAC if you're particularly involved with practice in Singapore, for example. HKIAC has a young group as well. So think about your area of focus and find the right fit for you. So that's all very well, I hear you say, but how did all of this being brave and saying yes actually help you to develop your career in ADR? Well, after I qualified in England and New York a few years back, I was looking for a new challenge. So I decided to conquer my fear of public speaking by taking examinations to achieve what is known as higher rights of audience here in England. This was my first act of professional bravery, and believe me, I really did have to be brave because public speaking was pretty terrifying. So after I passed those exams, I then had to force myself to start putting all of my newly acquired public speaking skills to good use. I didn't do that immediately. I kind of got there through further development of my arbitration knowledge and experience. My firm actually proposed that I formalized my arbitration knowledge and experience that I'd acquired during my practice to date by completing the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Accelerated Membership Program. And once again, I had to be brave because I was worried that I wouldn't have enough experience, that I wouldn't measure up. This is something that a lot of practitioners end up feeling at different stages during their career. You all think that you're the only ones who might be feeling a little bit intimidated as you embark on your chosen professional pathway. I can assure you there are various stages during everyone's professional careers where they will be feeling a little bit apprehensive about whether the potential next step is the right one to take. But anyway, I said yes because I like challenges and I wanted to keep developing professionally. Once I became a member of the Chartered Institute, I began to prepare for fellowship because, hey, there was another exam that I could take, and I've never been one to leave an exam untaken. So I ended up successfully completing that process shortly before I undertook my first speaking engagement for the Institute, having rather nervously applied to a call for speakers that was issued to members of the Institute's Young Members Group. So hey, it's worth being on those mailing lists. It's worth signing up. That's where you find the opportunities. I ended up standing up in front of a room full of people clutching a very sad-looking piece of paper with my notes on. And I had the pleasure of discussing everyone's favorite arbitration topic, disclosure. And Harold will remember that day too, I expect, because he was one of my fellow panelists. So once you start being brave and saying yes, it can actually become pretty addictive. I ended up getting co-opted to join the London branch's committee. I became their public relations officer. I applied to join the Young Members Group's Global Steering Committee the following year. And in 2017, I became the first female global YMG chair in the history of the Institute, a role that I had the pleasure of holding for 2 years, during which I was tasked with effectively leading a group of over 4,000 members from all over the world. And during that time, I also had the privilege of serving on the Institute's Board of Management. So once you start saying yes, it can become a little bit of a snowball effect. You just have to start, basically. You never know what you will achieve until you accept that initial invitation, or you reply to that initial call for papers or that initial call for speakers. Now, a word of caution. You will make mistakes. Everybody does. And you will be afraid sometimes. Everybody is. But as a certain doctor from a British television show once said, fear is a superpower. So use yours. Stop waiting for someone to push you and make a leap of faith. Be brave, say yes, and stop waiting to get started with your career in alternative dispute resolution. I appreciate that things are challenging at the moment, and that for many of you, you will be feeling that you're facing an uncertain future. Times will get better. The position will improve again. And remember, you've got time now to take advantage of all sorts of opportunities that you may not have had time to take advantage of before. So this is really the time to be responding to those calls for papers, to be undertaking research, to be working on your LinkedIn profile and your resume. You've got time to invest in yourself, and this is a really good opportunity to take it. So stay safe, everyone, and I wish you all every success. Remember, your career in ADR is what you make of it. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me. Bye for now.